of essentially this is the meeting that took place a short while ago between the Prime Minister and multiple top railway officials and top NDRF officials. To tell us more about that important meeting, we're crossing over to our political editor, Maya Shakil.
Yes.
Maya, so we're showing our viewers visuals of the meeting that took place where the Prime Minister convened the meeting between top railway officials and top NDRF officials.
Yes, that's right. So the visuals that you can see on your television screens now are of the meeting that was chaired by the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister will be now heading to the accident site, and he'll also be visiting the hospital in Cuttack, is what sources are saying. Remember, if you look at those visuals, you can see top officials of Government of India are all present in that meeting. There has been a great degree of concern, particularly. You can see also the Home Minister present in that meeting. So the railway official members have explained to the Prime Minister as to what appears to be the preliminary cause of this rail tragedy, as to what really happened at that moment. In that meeting is also the chairman of the railway board who was in attendance. Officials of the NDRF are present, and the Prime Minister has been briefed about what went wrong first. In the rescue and relief measures that are being taken, rescue operation being over and relief measures have been taken in terms of providing, medical support to all those who are injured. So now that the Prime Minister will be visiting the ground around 2:30 is what we are being told. He'll be arriving in Bhubaneswar, being received by the Chief Minister and the Chief Secretary of the State, and thereafter he'll be heading to the accident site and also to Cuttack. He'll get a fair idea of what has been the situation on ground. As we have been saying, this is the worst railway tragedy that has happened in over a decade. And the death toll at present stands over 230. It could rise is the sense that we are getting because of the nature of injuries particularly. Then there are over 800 passengers who are presently undergoing treatment in the hospital in Cuttack. So now the situation that has been briefed to the Prime Minister in the presence of Home Minister as well gives us a fair idea of what went wrong. Signaling error prima facie is what sources are indicating, and also a mix of a human error. So signaling error and a human error is what is being told as the prima facie reason for this accident.
Absolutely. Maria, do stay with us. We also want to get a word in from our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh. Pallavi, again, what we're showing our viewers are visuals of the meeting that took place a short while ago, and it was chaired by the Prime Minister.
Yes, so there's a sense of promptness, and it's not that the Prime Minister has convened the meeting today and he's not had a hands-on approach. In fact, the news which poured in late last night of that deadly accident which took place in Balasore is something the Prime Minister's office swung into action, and he's been getting minute-by-minute updates. And in fact, that's one of the main reasons why the Rail Minister and all the top-notch officials were also rushed to the spot. And the priority at that point of time was, one, to rescue as many people as possible. Second, immediate, quick medical help will have to be given. We also have to understand that in areas like Balasore, Cuttack, the medical facilities are still kind of mushrooming. They're not perhaps equipped to deal with the mammoth tragedy which took place over there, which is why you're going to see, and we are seeing, a united hands-on approach. Neighboring states also pitching their help. From the center also, all kind of facilities is being provided for. And in fact, at a meeting in which the Prime Minister got minute-to-minute updates, this was also the simple diktat, was that the quick medical priority will have to be provided to them. The reason why the Prime Minister is going to go there is also the simple reason why even the Rail Minister was also rushed to the spot, and we saw his pictures during the rescue operations. Interestingly, he has been the district collector of that Balasore area before he joined active politics, so he knows that area very well. So when the Prime Minister goes there, I think that's a very strong messaging to the people also that in times of tragedy, we are going to be there from the top and every hands on deck. So he's going to be there, and more importantly, going to a hospital to personally ensure that the best medical facilities are provided for. At this point of time, we need medical experts also to ensure that there is no spread of illness, disease, and, you have all, basic equipment. For example, oxygen supply, blood supply, enough of blood units being provided for. So all those facilities are going to be provided for.
Absolutely. Pallavi, a few follow-up questions. Now, what are we looking at next when it comes to what the Railway Ministry is going to be doing? Because we know that approximately 48 trains have already been cancelled. Considering that the probe is still underway and it is likely to be underway for a while now, what has still not been ascertained is whether this is a human failure, human error, or a signal failure.
Frankly speaking, and at this point of time, I think we really need to go in for the official word, because this is something which doesn't get decided in a hurry. It could be signaling error, it could be human error, but I don't think it's fair to at this point of time even kind of speculate on that. We really, in these times of crisis, need to exercise a little bit of caution and wait for what the official word comes in from the Railway Ministry. But naturally, investigation ordered, and they will going to find out. As I said, I mean, the first priority, which is very clear from the pictures, is when the Rail Minister and all the officials are going there, is to ensure that medical facilities are immediately provided for. If there are more dead bodies, they need to be retrieved. If there are people who are still alive and they may be caught under that, under the dismantled, disfigured rail tracks, and the coaches, they need to be retrieved. So there is that hope till the last person is actually extracted. So that's going to be essentially the priority.
Absolutely. Pallavi, do stay with us. We also want to cross back over to our political editor, Maya Shakil. Maya, so what can we expect now? Because we know that 48 trains have been cancelled. Are we likely to see more cancellations throughout the day while this probe is underway?
Yes, may not be. Because the railway would want that the entire site is cleared for the smooth movement of trains. But certainly, as I've been saying, the bigger challenge right now is to ensure that all those who have been rescued are provided immediate medical care. They would really, we certainly hope that the overall number of this tragedy doesn't increase anymore. So that certainly is a big concern, even as we look at the visuals of Prime Minister chairing that meeting. Also in that meeting is Home Minister Amit Shah, P.K. Mishra, who is the Principal Secretary, and other top officials of the Government of India are all present in that meeting. The concern is that how did a tragedy of this scale happen? Could it have been averted? Remember, in the last 7-8 years, we haven't seen any large-scale tragedy which has led to, this scale of death. Death toll is the 280 plus. The overall number of coaches that got derailed, and then there was another train moving from another track which ran into it. So could it have been avoided is the primary concern. If you look at it, the Prime Minister is seeing the visuals of a presentation that is being done by an official of the Railways Ministry, and she's explaining as to what went wrong in terms of the prima facie information that has come in to the government and the officials in the Railways Board. The challenge, certainly, if you look at the aerial view of the image, is to ensure that the tracks are cleared now at the earliest, perhaps in the next 24 hours. In the next 24 hours, we can expect some cancellation, but after that, not many, because there have been several Good Samaritans who have also, come in, who have rescued a lot of people. We have often seen in tragedies, whenever it happens in India, before the NDRF or the state disaster relief groups arrive, it is the ordinary people who come in. They extend that helping hand, and then they actually ensure that they are able to rescue as many people as they can. It's a horrific, of course, tragedy, train accident which has happened. We have seen how in the past there have been train accidents, but there was a significant cut or reduction in the train accidents in the last 8-9 years. And what appears is now the big challenge of rescue and relief. Rescue operation, as per the railways, is more or less over. They are hoping that all those mangled coaches will be now taken away from there, and that is the reason why big cranes and NDRF and Army is being used to clear the entire track so that the